Okay, this is my visual aid. This is about censorship. It's about the censorship of Mark Twain's The Adventures of Huckleberry Finn. It's a picture of Mark Twain saying, you censored parts of Huck Finn, and then what he says, they put a censor mark on it. Okay. Okay, according to PBS.org, they have an article that is Mark Twain's The Adventures of Huckleberry Finn in their cultural shock literature. And it talks about the banning of the book. It started in Concord, Massachusetts. It was by a group of librarians who thought that the book was trash and suitable only for slums. They didn't like the dialect that Twain had used in the book. He went more of a Southern Twain as opposed to the European literature type language that they were used to. This is what, all books at this point in the United States had the European literature because, obviously we succeeded from Europe. So everything was in this literature, and it just, to them, it was unintelligent, it was crude and barbaric, and they didn't agree with it. But in 1885 is whenever they decided to ban it. It's been lifted since then. It was considered one of the first great novels that were ever written. This is because Twain used the American dialect, the Southern American dialect, as opposed to the British dialect. And it used words like ain't and y'all and other things that would seem, I guess, unintelligent to some people. But it really opened the doorway for writers now, after Mark Twain's time, to put imagination into their literature. They were able to change the wording and give it more imagination. This is what makes Mark Twain's Adventures of Huckleberry Finn so important. And that's why it's so important that it was lifted off of this ban list. I never even knew that it had been put on the list. I unfortunately never had the opportunity to read it, but I agree with the fact that there are a lot of colleges and high schools that require it because of the simple fact of its importance in our American literature. But that's why I decided to do the Mark Twain's Adventures of Huckleberry Finn. My references were pbs.org. The article was Mark Twain's The Adventures of Huckleberry Finn in their Cultural Shock section. Thank you. Have a nice night.